What you just heard from these amazing kids that got up in front of 500 plus people in a ballroom like this was absolutely incredible. What they do to people is extraordinary. And they ask these kids to do the impossible, an extra almost 1,000 hours of math and reading, but not just during the school day, on weekends, summers, nights. And as we heard in the fireside chat we had earlier, for those of you lucky to join us, when Henry asked them, how is it that you guys are sticking through all this? Because you do think about dropping out all the time, because they go through things that you and I just do not understand. What they live through on a day-to-day basis is not what you and I experience on a day-to-day basis. And Henry called it peer pressure. They form a bond, and they stick through it together. And that's what we heard from Orlando, who said one of the first deals that he did, he was so proud of, was giving that management team a shot under new ownership to really prove what they could do. And so what we're here to do is give these kids their chance, to give them a shot. Now, if you look under your chairs and happen to find an envelope that's taped under your seat for a very special prize, at an event like this, you would be really excited. Yeah, I was just kidding. One of the other things I learned about fundraising and private equity is that rich people really like free stuff. So I was watching who was kind of leaning over the most, trying to find that spot in case it was under there somewhere. What SEO really wanted me to do tonight was ask you to make sure that there's a stack of programs on your desk, on your table rather, and to make sure that it matches the name that you were given, so we could get you to hold your hands up really high. Now, my perspective is at every given table, there's probably 2 to 3 people that are really successful. And you know who they are, and they know who they are. So this is your chance to exert that thing. What did you call it? Peer pressure? Peer pressure. We're not asking for equal opportunity. We're asking for an opportunity. We want to fund a need. We have doubled under Henry's leadership from hundreds to thousands of kids that get the benefit of this program. In San Francisco, we turn away hundreds of kids every year that deserve to be in this program, but we have limited resources. And that's what you guys could change here tonight. That lack of any opportunity, that's evil. And evil in all of its forms survives and thrives because good people don't do anything. If you experienced an emotion called empathy when those kids were on that stage, that's fantastic. People can't see empathy. They can only see what you do. So at this stage, I really appreciate your attention. And I would like to introduce Emily Quinn, who was our auctioneer from last year for Fund a Need. And this is not about her. This is about SEO. This is about the kids. And so I would really appreciate it if you would welcome Emily Quinn to the stage.
Let me tell you a little bit about, yes. $25,000, let me tell you what that can do. $25,000 can cover a year of rental costs for program space, including for the Saturday academies, that 6th day that we heard about, summer academy, and after-school program. One $25,000 paddle raise covers all that. Other things it can do. It can subsidize SEO's 5-week summer academy for rising 10th and 11th graders. One of the things that really helps them do is avoid that summer learning loss. We all know what happens in the summer when we were students. We don't want that happening to SEO scholars. It provides them with a chance to get a head start on the new school year, and they return ahead of the game. And I also want to mention that last year, because of a room full of people just like you, SEO was able to add a full week of computer programming to their summer program. And I also want to mention that these SEO scholars had near perfect attendance in the summer. These kids are amazing. So, our first official leadership level is $25,000, and like I said, we will continue on for the rest of the evening. We'll start it off with $25,000. We have one, yes, we have many. 205, $25,000, 207, $25,000, 213, $25,000, 210, $25,000, 209, $25,000, 129, $25,000, 243, $25,000, 354, $25,000. So, a little off script. I put in my notes goals because it helps me know kind of what's going on in the audience. Our goal was 1 to 3. That's it. I want you to appreciate how incredibly connected you all have become tonight and how much you're doing for these people, for these kids. It's really amazing. Anybody else 25,000 before I move on? Going once, going twice. Wow. Okay, moving along, we're going to make a big step from 25 to 15. Before I make that big step, if you want to give anything between 15,000 and 25,000, you can let me know right now. So one of those fishing, otherwise I'm going to jump right down to 15,000. Any amount between 15,000 and 25. Going once, going twice. Okay, next level, 15,000. Here we go. If you're thinking of getting in at 10,000, I want you to think about this 15 level. Now, I mentioned that last year they added that week of programming. I want to tell you a little bit about that. It was a new program in 2019, and I actually learned about this today. So SEO scholarship or SEO leaders are always looking for ways that they can improve the program. They're looking for things that they could do better, which is what you want in good leaders. And one of the places that they saw that the students were struggling was around computers and programming and things like that. So they went to work looking to implement solutions. They wanted to access support that the scholars needed. When they realized that there was this coding thing, they did some research, and they found a program that has a similar student-centered instructional model that the students would understand and kind of gel with. And they did this full week-long of programming. So that's where we get to this $15,000 level. If you believe that adding this to the toolbox for these SEO scholars, one more piece of the puzzle for them, to get them that step ahead, raise a paddle right now for $15,000. So here we go. This is our brand new program that we would love to continue with SEO scholars. There it is, 335, 15,000. And I assure you that anybody else at 15,000 right now, SEO will make sure that those funds are put to good use. You've heard fabulous stories. Anybody else 15,000 before we go down to the $10,000 level? 15, going once, going twice, and moving right along to the $10,000 level. Now, I love these examples where when you raise a paddle, it has like a one-to-one relationship of what it's going to do. To me, that's totally magical. So there are two really amazing things. These are just examples. Obviously, SEO is going to use these funds to support their scholars in lots of different ways. But an example of what a $10,000 gift can do: an entire semester of Saturday instruction for a cohort of scholars, that 6th day of school. It's where all the magic happens for these students. These super persistent scholars. They're up at 6 a.m. on Saturday to make sure that they get to SEO class for a full day of learning. Another example of a $10,000 gift is that it can allow a cohort of 20 or more of these scholars to attend a 4-day trip to visit colleges in Southern California. So last year, we had scholars that visited, I'm sure there's going to be some alum that are going to cheer for these, USC, Pitzer College, UC Merced, Loyola Marymount, the University of Redlands, so many more. And these visits allow the scholars to get onto campuses, some of them for the first time ever. It gives them an opportunity to see what it's like to go to a smaller college or a bigger college, an urban or a rural, to imagine themselves in that space, right? Because it's really hard to go where you want to go if you can't imagine yourself there. So those are just two examples, just two examples. I could be here all night with the examples, I won't be. So $10,000 pledges, again, if you have a corporate match and you want to give 5, you can raise your paddle at 10 and fulfill it with the match. $10,000, here we go. 484, $10,000. 211, $10,000. 225, $10,000. 142, $10,000. 172, $10,000. 130, $10,000. 399, $10,000. 480, $10,000. 202, $10,000. 401, $10,000. Yes! Anybody else, $10,000? So I will remind you, though, if you want to take advantage of the match, just communicate with SEO. Let them know that that's your plan, and they'll work it out for you. So exciting. So we're moving into the first of what I call the My Fair Share levels. Those were huge numbers for a lot of us. The next level is $5,000, and I want to start off by giving you, again, some of these examples. So first of all, this senior bootcamp. So this is a 2-week intensive for rising seniors immediately before they go back to school. Here's what they get. They get a head start on their college applications. They get to finalize their college lists. They finish up their personal statements. They prep for their final sitting of the SAT. This intensive, it helps them get ahead. It helps them start the year off ahead and ready to go. And another example of what $5,000 can do are writing coaches. So SEO prepares scholars to be competitive applicants at top schools by providing these writing coaches. And the coaches help ensure not only that the applications are solid, but it also helps them write applications for these scholarships that we've heard about. So when you raise your paddle for $5,000, you're going to make sure that those senior boot camps happen. You're going to make sure that those writing coaches are there to help these students do their applications, whether it's for colleges or for the scholarships.